Good evening.
Little Goody Two Shoes.
Good evening and goody two shoes. If memory serves, we just got our first testament and accordingly our first gift. Our our sanity has seen better days. I had to go find Rosemary. Okay, no wandering off without her. Impressive, lass. Impressive, lass.
For goodness sake.
What's gotten into you, Rosemary? Also, I am super tired tonight, but I'm gonna force my way through. I have another interview this evening. Who's Rosemary? Who's Rosemary? Ever since we got here, you haven't... Who's Rosemary? Who's Rosemary? Wait, Rosemary? Who's Rosemary? Who's Rosemary? They might be giving me shit because her name is Rose and Marie. Or it might be that that's somebody who just has taken on her appearance but is not her.
I'm losing my wits!
For goodness sake, I can't even hear my own thoughts. You're just in time for the tender flesh, lass. The tender flesh, that's... The testament, the testament. My eye. The tender flesh, the tender flesh. Wait, don't come any closer. We're rather peckish, rather peckish. I'm telling you to stay away from me. Could eat a horse, could eat a horse. No, wait. May thy flesh serve him. May thy flesh serve him. The Wheat Testament. Yeah, if a bunch of ravenous crows attack you, losing a little bit of hair is probably one of the better outcomes.
What is this?
Is this the flesh? My own hair, a part of me, my mortal body. Just like Rosemary told me.
Marine.
Ugh, I must find her. Lord knows what those crows did to her. Rosemary. I definitely think we did this last week. I probably died. Can you hear it, Elise? The woodland, my grove, it's aching. What are you saying, Rosemary? You've lost your wits the moment we got here. Even under their influence, it's still...
Out with it!
I'm serious, Rosemary, that's enough. It's aching for what was taken from its bosom, Elise. Now that you're here, it's reacting to you.
Rose and Marine?
I still don't understand, Rosemary. But can you hear it? Hear what? These roots, the earth. They'll guide you to your rightful place, Elise.
Out with it!
I don't have time for this nonsense, Rosemary. I've done what I came here to do. We ought to leave. To the womb, Elise, where you were conceived, where you will go to meet your fate.
Rose and Marine!
You're not listening. To think he's once more trying to take you away from me. Turned my bosom into this parched wasteland, and yet this womb of mine still responds to your presence all the same.
What is this?
What in the... I will bring you home, Elise. I will do everything in my power to.
Rose and Marine!
Rosemary, take my hand.
What in the Lord's name?
What in the... I will bring you home, Elise. Come with me, Rosemary. We have to get out of here. Yeah, last time I stood in front of that thing and I died. I was not prepared for that mentally. The good news is now I'm wide awake. I love the design of this thing. I'm pretty sure Elise appreciates it less than I do. Dear Lord. Is it gone, Rosemary? I suppose. What was that thing, anyhow? They're preparing for your arrival, it seems.
What is this?
That's me? I've never seen him this eager, I must say.
What in the Lord's name?
What in the Lord's name is going on here? You'll slip away. If I don't hurry, I'll lose you.
Rose and Marine!
Rosemary, what's wrong with you?
Elise.
Elise,
Out with it!
I've had it. We're leaving this place. A statue of me. Trying to lure you in, is he? Huh? Isn't this what you most desire? Glory, luxury, prestige? He's trying to show you that. Let's get out of here, Rosemary. Throw a horse and a cat by the looks of things.
Rose and Marine!
Break over. What do you mean? Rosemary. Oh yeah, break from the chase. Gotcha. Come, quick. You have to get up. I will lose you again, my beloved. If I don't hurry, you'll slip away.
What in the Lord's name?
You're not Rosemary. God, I wish that whenever I was tired, I could just collapse and be in bed. Oh, what am I to do? I feel so confused. I don't know what I'm doing or where I'm going. That wasn't Rosemary either. Oh, what am I getting myself into? I'm so utterly alone. Let me guide you, Elise. Rosemary. When did I get here? Some interesting Rosemary backstory in that sequence. That said, there were 2 words in there that I don't know off the top of my head. A kismet is a destiny or fate. And a rondo is a recurring musical form, often found during the final movement of a sonata or concerto. Interesting. When did I get here? That dream I had about Rosemary.
Marine!
Rosemary. I have to find her. My eye! That wretched crow. I gotta find Rosemary. It's still a unicorn. It didn't always look like this. There you are, Flock. Ought to be nice being a goat, huh? Not one care in the world, oblivious to everything. I've seen a couple of goat VTubers, they seem like fun.
Rose and Marine!
Rosemarine.
Good morning, Elise.
Ah, good morning, Elise. Have you completely lost your wits, Rosemarine? Last night in the woods, what were you thinking, saying,
I'm sorry.
"Oh, I'm sorry, that wasn't..." You weren't yourself, Rosemarine. What do you mean?
Out with it!
Oh, don't give me that now.
I...
No, Elise, I didn't even step foot in the woods. You were with me the entire time, Rosemarine. No, I wasn't. I couldn't follow you into the woods. The trees blocked my path. You went on ahead no matter how much I called for you, and I did wait for you, but you never came back for me. If that wasn't Rosemarine, then who in the Lord's name?
You alright, Elise?
Is everything right, Elise? You look a little...
Rose and Marine.
Rosemarine, you can talk to me. You don't have to keep it all to yourself.
You know,
I had a dream about you. It was... Oh, Elise. I saw you and your grandmother, and it felt like I was seeing your... My path to finding you in Kuiperberg.
Fate, Elise.
Oh, Elise, it's fate. Fate, you say? You still don't believe it, do you? Hard not to after last night. Oh, did you get it? Huh? Why, the testament, Elise.
Now that you mention it,
Yes, those crows, I was offered a strand of my own hair, and... Oh, Elise, that's wonderful. All you need to do is prepare it to be eaten. Eaten? Remember, these are gifts you're giving him, Elise. But it's... hair.
yes.
A part of your immortal body, yes. Gifts for the host, food, drink, and good company. Food, you say? The tender flesh needs to be food?
Are you alright, Elise?
You look tired, Elise. Is everything alright? I feel like I'm losing my wits, Rosemarine. Elise, come now. Let's head out to work. Everything's falling into place, Elise. You'll see. Am I losing friends, or is my internet being a bee? Well, I certainly hope I'm not losing friends. In terms of my connection... So far, things are looking good. Say, Elise, I've been wondering about that room upstairs. Granny Hall's bedroom, what about it? Wouldn't you like me to clean it as well? There's no need. I don't go in there at all. All the more reason to give it a good sweeping. I haven't been in there since she passed, you see. Oh, I'm so sorry, Elise. I didn't mean to. That's alright. In fact, I don't even have the key anymore. I locked it up the day she passed and I don't know where I put it. I understand, Elise. I wonder what happened to that key. Knowing myself, I may have thrown it off the peaks. Yeah, I wish that I could say I've never done anything self-destructive while in a bad mental state. It's best I come back some other time. May thy flesh serve him was what those girls said. If that's what it takes to get there, I may as well give him everything I have. The monumental castle shines ephemeral and out of reach. Yeah, I am fully convinced that Elise is diving headfirst into, like, the worst decision possible. But I'm not really at liberty to get her off this path, so... Oh, there's so many crows. What are these crows doing here?
Are you alright, Elise?
Elise, is everything alright? Would I not have made poor decisions to get a job a few weeks ago? Exactly. It's like, sometimes you're not in a good state. Elise, is everything alright? Arguably, I did make poor decisions to get a job a few weeks ago. I am so tired all the time now. This can't be good. I'd best hurry. So yeah, now I vaguely know that this thing, like, means the end. Something that I'd say is worth wondering about, Rosemary, is how Flock lost his eye, wouldn't you say? Oh, I've always wondered about that. I suppose he must have gotten injured, or could have been a branch, or he might have fallen, perhaps. It doesn't seem that he's in pain, at least. Oh, how I wish I could talk to him. I have so many questions. Such as, why he followed me, firstly. Your hat's made of hay, that's my best guess. Oh, and I'd ask him his name, too. Isn't it Flock? I was the one who thought of that. It's not really his name. He's a goat, Rosemary. Why, but he still has his own character, at least. We're done wondering about useless things, Rosemary. Oh, but it's so much fun, isn't it? I'd best not wander too far. Yeah, my family dog growing up, one time a neighbor took him out for a walk, and secondhand, obviously I wasn't there, but the way she described it, a branch that was like pushed out of the way whipped around and hit him in the face, and ultimately ended up injuring both of his eyes so badly that they had to be removed. So the poor little guy spent his twilight years completely blind. Luckily he was a dog, so he could navigate by smell well enough, but it's still pretty sad. It's best I keep away from the woods. At least until I figure out what to do next. Let's see how many of my reduced stats I can bring back up. What did the hungry girl want again? I think she wanted the Lebkuchen. There are a lot of crows in Kuiperberg today.
What in the Lord's name?
What's all this? I don't think I've ever seen so many crows at once. Come, Rosemarie, we must find out what's going on. Say, Rosemarie, you know how to sew, don't you? Somewhat, yes. That explains it, I suppose. Explains what? Why the patches on your dress are so clumsy. We could ask Miss Marielle to help, you know? Oh, but I quite like my dress. That's alright, but I'd say that you deserve better, newer clothes is all. I don't need better, Elise. This is my dress. It's been with me for years now. All these patches and tears mean something to me, you see. What does that moon-shaped one mean, then? Oh, this is from an old blanket of mine. It brings me comfort to have it with me wherever I go. And the squares? Granny patched it for me when I fell off a tree. I can't bring myself to part with it now that she's gone. Fine. You have your reasons. I appreciate the thought, Elise. We'll be scraping bird poop off the roofs for weeks, Elma. Oh, Elise, would you take a look at this nonsense? These crows I see. All of Kuiperberg is thick with the filthy things. I told everybody I'd seen them yesterday, Mrs. Elma. They're a pest, and Lord knows where they've come from. Oh, but they're not dangerous, I'm certain. What are you saying, lass? Of course they are. You'd best talk some sense into your cousin, Elise. She's clearly not all there, the poor lass. Alright, let's go, Rosemarie. Ah, yes. Yeah, no, crows are really cool. I'm a big fan of corvids. If they were more common in my area, what I might do is I might keep like a stockpile of shelled unsalted cashews to give to them. Exactly, crows are only bad if you mistreat them. They're actually super intelligent. Like, it's kind of scary how smart they are for how small their heads are. I'd best go lend the lads a hand, Brunhild. No, Guido, please don't go. What's going on here? You don't mean to say you haven't seen them, do you? I've seen them before anyone else in Kuiperberg, as you know. My, you ought to know something about this, then. Please stop with that nonsense, Miss Wilma. Those wretched things broke into the windmill, Elise. It's possible to teach crows how to barter for food. Yup. I've heard stories of... I've heard a couple of stories. One is... somebody would give the crows nuts, and then the crows would, like, bring them all kinds of shiny trinkets. And the person would normally, like, leave the trinkets, but then, like, one time the crows brought them, like, a quarter and a $5 bill, so they took those and gave the crows extra nuts. And then the crows started bringing them, like, a lot of loose money that they found. Because, like, the crows would go out and hunt down money and bring it back for more nuts. And another one was this person gave like the crows a bunch of like nuts just for nothing in exchange. Then one day when she was like walking home, a guy like attacked her. And an entire like murder of crows showed up and swarmed him and drove him off. Those wretched things broke into the windmill, Elise. Hence why I'd best head back there, Brunhild. If you take the money for food party, you're trading the crows to bug people. I am all for that. She's pregnant, Guido. Don't let her get worked up. They broke into the windmill, Mr. Guido. Stole our grain, the bastards. I must go, Brunhild. I can't stand here all day. Oh, Guido, what if they attack me while you're away? Ever since I heard Miku's message to artists, I cannot take the word pregnant seriously. Mrs. Odile? Yeah? Don't tell me you're hiding from the crows. I'm not going anywhere near those dreadful things. Oh, this is all your fault. How is this our fault, Mrs. Odile? You two are hiding something, I know it. Old Johann's being taken for a fool, but I know you. Is this because of what I said yesterday, Mrs. Odile? All these awful goings-on. I understand it's frightening, Mrs. Odile, but you can't. Oh, but these crows weren't enough. Even our children are hexed now. What are you? Shoot, leave me be, you. I fully expect this mushroom circle to be relevant later. No use whining about it, Jacob. It's a no. But Granny... What's wrong, Mrs. Marlin? It's Apfel, lass. He came down with a fever last night. A fever? Is he alright? Liv Kuchin said that the poor lad was delirious. Oh, please let me go see him, Granny. Absolutely not, Jacob, and that's final. Where is he right now, Mrs. Marlin? In church, I've heard. Oh, I could go wait for him by the fountain. Wait for your father to come back, Jacob. I wouldn't want you at these birds' mercy either. But Granny... This also goes for you two. Don't go near those crows, you hear? Oh, but have they hurt anyone? Lord knows they could. I stacked them so neatly for Mr. Eugen, and look at them now. I've never been a big fan of the, oh, but think of what they could do argument. It's like, I carry a knife for my work. I could stab somebody. Doesn't mean I should be treated like I will. How did they get their wheat to grow this tall, I wonder? I do love how wheat looks. I should have believed you last night, Elise. I suppose. Not that it would have prevented anything, though. Oh, the dreadful things are everywhere. They've been circling the windmill all morning, you see. The lads are still up there trying to do away with them. You know what? I wonder if I need to use the windmill to grind the wheat into flour so I could bake it into bread. You know, turn it into food for him. The lads are still up there trying to do away with them. Circling the windmill? What for? Why, to steal our greenalies. Those crows are a bad omen, that's for sure. I wouldn't want to lend old Johann's notions any weight, but we should give it some thought, I'd say. Now that's a bad omen. Yeah, I wonder why crows would be invading the windmill after getting plot-relevant wheat. I'll check out the windmill after checking out the fountain in the church. I just realized that this thing is the symbol of finality. Kuchin and I used to play about in the water all the time, didn't we? Though we're a little too old for that now, I suppose. Forevermore decorated with blooming flowers, Kyverberg's crest rests atop the square fountain in its ancient glory. Ah, I can't go inside the church. Ah well, I tried. Granny Hall took me down to the lake once, I remember. Carved deep into the valleys, Kyverberg Lake spreads out between the hills. It's a very pretty lake. I'll take good care of it, Father. There's nothing to see here, Elise. You'd best head back to town. You were the one who first saw these crows, weren't you, Elise? It's not as though you folks believed me when it mattered. I said it last night and I'll say it again. You're hiding. It matters not, old Johann. We must focus on the matter at hand. We all had our fill of trouble last night, didn't we? We don't need any more yelling, that's for certain. Now, they didn't steal that much grain, folks.
You know,
How much did they steal, Mr. Gustav? About a sack in total. We got here in time to prevent the worst. The darn birds were building a nest in the oven. We ought to give it a good scrubbing later. It doesn't seem they're keen on attacking us, at least. We've locked it up and trusted Eugen here with the key for now. I appreciate the trust. Of course, especially after all of yesterday's going on. Because he was stolen from, or because he has no horses to steal the grain with? Who's to stand guard here, then? Before we get into that, Bernard, there's something I'd like to say. We're all well aware of what happened last night, however, we ought to stick together, folks, now more than ever. You heard the man. Kyverberg is what we make of it, don't forget that. I ought to head back to church. Is Apfel feeling better, Father? That's what I'm looking into, Finn. You'd best go with Elise. Levkuchen will fill you in, I'm certain. Will do, Mr. Gustav. Okay, so I gotta get the key from Eugen at some point. I was wondering, Elise. Mr. Bernard said that the crows were trying to make a nest in the oven. I suppose it's a cozy little nook. I don't see what's so. So there's an oven in the windmill, right? There's always been an oven in the windmill, Rosemary. What's your...
oh, that's...
The tender flesh, Elise. Wouldn't this be a good way to prepare it? Making bread out of it, you say? Maybe you could ask about town if they'd let you in.
Now that you mention it...
That's rather risky, Rosemary.
But...
I suppose, but... Yeah, I can't think of any other way either. Not if I want to find him. It's worth a try, I'd say. Alright, I'll see what I can find out. Hello. A toy horse. This is the Rosemarine I know, there's no doubt. I don't know what to make of last night's Rosemarine, though. Rosebein's right. I have to find a way to get in here. Asking around town should be enough, but... I'd say they snuck in through the roof, Gustav. When did you realize the crows were in the windmill, Mr. Ludwig? Heinrich came about to collect some flour this morning. He was the one who gave the alert. So you've locked it up, have you? We must keep those birds out, Elise, or they'll take all of our grain. You could draw them away. Maybe if you scattered some grain elsewhere, Mr. Gustav, then the windmill could still be available, and... We thought about that, Elise. Nobody was in favor of wasting any more grain, lass. Ah, I see. We ought to keep a close eye on the windmill, Elise. You can have a word with Eugen, perhaps. No, of course. Prompt, I'm a fox demon that made a deal with Elise to prank the villagers who annoyed her in exchange for a basket of eggs, reporting back on my mischief to collect my due. Oh dear, a fox demon that made a deal to prank the villagers in exchange for a basket of eggs. Let me think. Yeah, that's a bit much. That said, I've got an idea. So it's like, hey, Elise, I'm over here. Elise, hi. So I came up with this really awesome prank, Elise. So what I did was, I killed this guy's horses, okay? And then I brought a bunch of crows into the windmill, and they grabbed a bunch of grain and flew off with it. Ah! I just dropped my phone on my ankle. That should not have been there. And then I brought a bunch of crows into the windmill, and then they ate everything. Now, granted, everybody thinks that you're a witch now, but I was promised eggs. Give them. There, how about that? You know, I knocked my phone after off my desk, leaning in. It hit me right in the bone. It's like that hurt more than it should have. Luckily, my phone seems to be undamaged. Yeah, now I'm wide awake. Hold on. Hold on. This girl over here with, like, the straight hair. I could have sworn that her head was, like, behind the stairs and then only, like, popped in front of them afterwards. Oh well. I like the echoing of, like, the footsteps. Ah, it's nice to see you, Elise. You've heard about Appel, I assume? No, I haven't. Appel was very ill last night, Elise. He had a very high fever. He was delirious. Oh, the poor lad. I can't bear looking at his little hands. What about them, Mrs. Dorothy? It's best you hear it from me, Elise, so you get the real story. You've been up all night, Lisbeth. We can tell her. Appel is fine now, as you can see, but last night I was awoken by him moaning, speaking nonsense. His fever was boiling him alive. We called for Father Hans and brought him to church, but Appel had never been so ill. I thought I'd lose him. He wasn't all there either. Kept mumbling to himself, and I don't know how, but his hands are injured. It's horrifying, and they were so bloody. It's as if they were pecked at by something. I can't explain it. Please collect yourself, Mrs. Lisbeth. That's right, Mrs. Lisbeth. Take deep breaths. At first, I thought he'd caught the goat's sickness somehow, but it doesn't explain his hands or what happened to my goats. This is my disgrace. It's alright, Mrs. Lisbeth. We're all here for you. It's alright.
You know,
What about the goats? It must have happened while we were praying for Appel in church. When Mrs. Lisbeth went to fetch him dry clothes, she happened upon 2 of her goats lying on the ground. They'd bled to death, their tongues had been ripped out, and their heads were severed too. You can rest assured that we'll help you, Mrs. Lisbeth. I shall arrange for a doctor to come as soon as possible. What am I to do with one sick goat, Father? Make certain that you and the children don't go without, Mrs. Lisbeth. You're welcome to have supper with Finn and I any time, Lisbeth. Thank you, but I don't have strength, Dorothy. Mrs. Dorothy will be looking after Appel, Mrs. Lisbeth. You'd best go home and rest for the day. Of course, Father. Thank you. Come, I'll walk with you and Appel home.
I'm sorry,
This is awful, Elise. I gotta pay them a visit later. It's one thing after another, isn't it? But first things first, I gotta figure out how I'm gonna get my hands on that key. It'll strain my budget a little bit, but I want to go on a date with Rose and Marie. That said, I should investigate first. Is everything alright, Mrs. Marielle? Oh, Elise, it's so horrifying. To think that this would happen to Lisbeth of all people. All on her own with 2 young children, too. Oh, I wouldn't know what to do with myself. I haven't seen Groon all morning. I had a word with Mrs. Lisbeth early this morning. Groon was in tears. I couldn't bear the sight. It seems that they're going to be in class with Dorothy and Levkuchin. I'll see what I can do for them this afternoon. Even if it's just keeping them company or entertaining Groon. I can only hope none of this misfortune gets sent my way. I'm surprised that the cat isn't rampaging through all of these crows. Ah, there you are, Elise. You seem troubled, Mr. Ludwig. All of Kuiperberg's troubled lass. Now can you do me a favor? Bertha and I are thinking of spending a week in Primaldorf after the festival. In Primaldorf, Mr. Ludwig? My daughter has been insisting we visit, you see. Seeing our grandchildren will be good for Bertha, too. Why don't you visit more often, Mr. Ludwig? It's such a long way to Primaldorf. It's really not that far away. Do me a favor, will you, Elise? Go ask Finn if he can look after my cabbages while I'm away. Your cabbages, Mr. Ludwig? They need daily tending to and these crows aren't helping. But tell him he can't simply beat them with a hoe, you hear? Why would he do such a thing? Young lads are lazy, that's why. Better days will come, lad. When I'm settled in Primaldorf, God willing. Don't make hasty decisions, Eugen. What is it, Elise? I was wondering about the key. The windmill, Mr. Eugen. Was anybody asking for it last? Not necessarily, Mr. Wilhelm. I'm the one who'd like to use it. Did you forget anything in there, Elise? I was hoping to make some bread, Mr. Eugen. That can wait, Elise. Here you go. Aw, thank you. You didn't have to, Mr. Wilhelm. I'll be holding onto this key until the evening either way. Truly, we wouldn't want folks to all start wanting to bake bread today, too. And now they're suspicious of me. Oh dear. Granted, going straight for it like that was probably stupid. Oh well. I got some free bread out of it. We take those. I wouldn't say that's what lazy folks would do, but... Right, I gotta find Finn. I don't know which one is Finn. I gotta tell Finn to tend to the cabbages, and then... go on a date. Wellness Shack. I wonder what she keeps in here. He's in a hard-to-spot area. Is he now? Oh, hey, well. Well, what do we have here? How many afternoons did I spend here washing these folks' clothes, I wonder? I'll poke around a little bit longer. Just a little bit. I would imagine that he's like a farmer type. You can just go ahead and tell me where he is. Hunting down NPCs that I don't know by name is not particularly engaging. Inside the stables. Say, Mr. Finn, I was talking to Mr. Ludwig. Thank you, I didn't even realize I could go inside. I was talking to Mr. Ludwig and... Not the cabbages, huh? He asked you to ask me to look after his cabbages. I know all about it, lass. He's losing his mind. What? That man is obsessed with his cabbages. He's been hounding me about them since yesterday. Well, alright, but what do I tell him, Mr. Finn? I'll do it, I'll do it! Whatever it takes to stop hearing about these wretched cabbages. Alright, I'll report back and then we'll take tonight's break. Yeah. My cabbages! You bring good news, I'm certain. Mr. Finn said to leave it to him, Mr. Ludwig. Atta girl, Elise. I'm not the one looking after your cabbages, Mr. Ludwig. You still did me a favor, didn't you? For your trouble. Spiced worst. You didn't have to, Mr. Ludwig, but thank you. I'd best go tell Bertha our set cabbages will be in good hands. Well, I got food without spending time. Alright, that said, time for tonight's break. It'll be about 5 minutes. Please use this time to refill your water, go to the bathroom. Anything you feel like you can pull off in about 5 minutes. I'll see you in about that long. return. I took about 7 minutes instead of 5, sorry about that. I was doing some stuff in the background. Including but not limited to, actually making a hot drink because I didn't start the stream with one because I was in a rush. Yes, let's go be gay with Rose and Marie. That's not where the gay is. Thank you for the hydrate. My hot drink is ironically still too hot to drink. So I just had to drink some water. There she is. I'll spend some time with her.
Look.
For goodness sake.
You and that goat of yours, Rosemary.
Oh, Elise.
Oh, Elise, there's no need to be jealous.
Rose and Marine!
I'm not jealous of a goat, you. Isn't she, Flock? How would you like to sleep with him out in the granary, Rosemary? I'd have Flock to hold close. I wouldn't be cold at all.
For goodness sake.
Why, you... Flock, don't get so close to the edge. You be careful too, Rosemary. You can see everything from here, can't you? I suppose.
Are you alright, Elise?
Something's on your mind, Elise. I can tell. I can't even be left to brood in peace, can I? You're going through some changes, that's all. Some changes, you say. Your path will become clearer and clearer, you'll see. Okay, so I don't know about this implies that I'm not jumping face first into some Fae bullshit. So instead I'll just be a bitch.
For goodness sake.
It almost feels like you're mocking me, Rosemary. Come now, Elise, give me your hands. Did I say recently? I could have saved more recently than I have, but yes, I think.
Rose and Marine!
Rosemary, what are you... Let's dance, Elise. You're going too fast, Rosemary. We're approaching the full moon, Elise. You know what that means. How would I know such a thing? It's time to celebrate new beginnings.
I'm here for you, Elise.
Our new beginning together.
For goodness sake.
What new beginning, Rosemary? You're not making sense. Why, you following your dreams, Elise. The fulfillment of my purpose, too. Everything's coming together just the way the stars told me it would.
Rose and Marine!
Rosemary, we ought to celebrate our good fortune, Elise.
Wait!
Wait, Rosemary, you're spinning too fast.
Are you alright, Elise?
Are you alright, Elise?
For goodness sake.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I didn't think. I used to dance with Granny like this every month, and I... You swung your Granny around like this?
Of course.
Of course, every month. You are truly... Whether you believe me or not, Elise, let me put it this way. You see that castle in the distance, don't you? Yes?
Oh, that's...
It may seem far away from where you stand now, but... The stars are even further away, yet they still guided me to you, didn't they?
Rose and Marine.
Rosemary, are there any other places with pretty views in Kyverberg? I suppose the windmill's not bad. Will you meet me there tomorrow afternoon then?
I see.
Our new beginning together, she says.
Sorry,
Elise, I'll be there, Rosemary. We'd best head back now.
Yes.
Ah, yes. I've got to keep investigating, and my choices are between chicken eggs or kiss the rat. And I'm certainly not going to kiss the rat. I would literally rather do anything else. Well, it's not that bad, but I prefer the egg hunting thing. I say hunting as if I have to chase them down.
Muffy?
It's you.
For goodness sake!
That's enough. I'm not giving you one more crumb.
Oh, but
Ah, but you promised me some Lipkuchen. I promise you nothing, Mercy.
you know.
Folks already think that it's strange, Elise, that you knew about the crows since yesterday.
Is that so?
You know what? Why don't you go ahead? Who's to believe a scrawny little squealer like you anyhow? Old Johan does, Elise. Miss Odile does too. Oh, do they? What are you telling them then? That I saw you talking to those crows yesterday. There was a golden one too, wasn't there?
Muffy?
Why, you... Following you about town truly is so much fun, Elise. I just know you have the Lipkuchen you promised me tucked away somewhere.
Alright?
You keep your mouth shut, you hear? I don't want to add any more to those folks' imaginations. Why, but they're not imagining anything, are they?
Oh, shush it!
Shut it, Money. Not one more word about this.
You know.
I'll keep quiet, but I was wondering. I gave you what you wanted, so go away. Alright, well, why don't you bring me some soup tomorrow?
Out with it!
Off with you, Mandy.
Hmm.
Where do I even get soup? I imagine that, like, the store would be the place to check. That, or I'd, like, need to make it myself in my cauldron. Yeah, I can just do this. It's so expensive. Do I have anything that I can sell? It's something. Right, I gotta investigate too. Yeah, and I can work twice. Aside from my sanity, my stats are looking pretty decent, though if I want to keep Rose and Marie from causing trouble, I'll need to spend 3 bread on her. Though granted, she'll make it easier to get an S rank, which would pay for her. This is tiring, Rosemary. Asking about town, you mean? No, I don't think we can count on that. I should have chosen my words a little more carefully, I suppose. That's alright, Elise, we'll find a way. If only I could turn back time and attempt it again. By the way, Elise, folks are rather restless. Is she implying that, like, I should go back in time and try a different route? Don't go losing your wits like that, Odile. It may be best to rest for the day, Mrs. Odile. Is everything alright? Yeah. What's gotten into her? Odile's terrified of the crows, Elise. Old Johann's right, it's that lassie and her cousin. Oh, for goodness sake. This isn't good for you, Odile. Think about your health, your heart can't take much more. Oh, but I can't settle down, Marielle. The Lord is with Kuiperberg, we must not forget that. You gotta put your faith in him, Mrs. Odile. That's right, Odile. You can't get swayed by whatever old Johann says. Do I look like a witch to you, Mrs. Odile? Oh, I wouldn't know, lass. What do you mean you wouldn't know? Don't rile her up, Elise. We'll take care of her, don't you worry, dearie. Not a 90s point-and-click adventure game. Yeah, fun fact. Granted, referencing a Sierra game is practically cheating, but one of the Space Quest games, the only way to, like, properly progress through an area is to, like, arrive in, like, a hub. Then a guy offers to buy, like, your vehicle from you. And if you accept his offer, he does pay you and then, like, take your vehicle and leave. But it's not enough money to actually, like, get the thing that you need. So you have to say no the first time, which will make him offer you more money. It's best you start confessing, Dorothy. A mother's sin passes on to her child, you know? Oh, for goodness sake. Why, it's a fact, Elise. What you ought to do, Dorothy, is wear your rosary all 9 months. Oh, I will, but Brunhild, she... What about Miss Brunhild? She's been doing these divinations. It's all old wives' tales and whatnot. Still, Elise, it could be harmful if she goes too far. With this witch nonsense about town, too. It may have been her who brought us all these crows, even. Oh, for goodness sake, Miss Lorelei. Honestly, Lorelei, we can't go around making accusations left and right. She would never do such a thing, Miss Lorelei. Alright, alright. You don't all have to pounce on me like that. They've had their fill, I'd wager. The crows, Mr. Guido? They've been circling the windmill all morning, the bastards. Yet they haven't come for the grain even once. If they haven't attempted it until now, who's to say, Elise? We can't leave the windmill, that's why. Ah, no, I was saying that maybe now. They're not coming for the grain because we're here, I'm certain. They'd come diving down the moment we left, I'd wager. That's a given. I suppose. Well, at least my suspicion is 0. Are you one to eat a lot of eggs, Elise? What else is there to eat in this town anyhow? Oh, you have enough for a hog or 2, I'm certain. Huh. Anyhow, won't you fetch me a few eggs for supper? Alright. Let's have you pitch in for that hog, what do you say? If you bring me the entire coop, I will. Yes, I'll take her help. I want to keep suspicion low since I'm going to be asking for suspicious things. You find it funny how the fox is skilled at the egg yoinking game? I mean... stereotypes are stereotypes for a reason, sometimes. Try again? No thank you. I'm happy with how that went. Why, I was jesting, lass. You didn't have to bring me the entire coop. I merely did as I was asked to, Mr. Wilhelm. Here you go, Elise, for your hog. Oh, if only this were enough for even a sausage, let alone an entire hog. It is enough for a whole roasted hog at the store, which Elise is capable of downing right now. Yeah. Understood, Maddie. Oh, but my auntie's going to. What have you done now, Molly? At least it's not what you think. I didn't. She stole one of Mrs. Elma's buns that she had cooling on the windowsill. No, I didn't. She gave it to me, and Mrs. Elma had me give Molly here a good earful. Does your auntie not feed you, Molly? It's complicated. She doesn't. I'm still a growing lass, Elise. 8 buns a day isn't enough. 8? Either way, Missy. It's Muffy. Why can't any of you? Stealing is never justified, alright? You can come to me if you ever need anything. Oh, Lapuchin. If only Elise was as kind as you. Why, you? Maybe it's best to go home to rest, Lapuchin. I'll go with you, then you can get me some pretzels. Oh, for goodness sake, Mindy. Why don't you go ask Granny Gretel? Tell her I sent you. She'll give you anything you want. Hooray, hooray! I'm really not a fan of gluttons. My brother was a glutton growing up, and it is not fun going hungry because you can't keep food in the house because he'll eat absolutely everything. Ah, there you are. How can I help you, Mrs. Alma? I was wondering if you could fetch me some apples, Elise. If the crows haven't eaten them all, that is. Of course. I doubt they did, if I'm honest. Ugh, I wouldn't be surprised. It's like these folks want bad things to happen, huh? Oh, I have to pay the extra cost every time? I mean, it's worth it, but still. Once a day is enough to avoid suspicion. Gotcha. Oh well, she can eat. I got greedy, it did not work out in my favor. You didn't have to bring me so many, although I'm not complaining. I did my best, I suppose. And it shows, Elise. Here you go. Thank you, Mrs. Alma. I know, Elise. I haven't said anything yet, have I? You don't have to, Elise. What am I to do with you, Lebkuchen? At least tell me you'll get a good night's sleep tonight. If nobody else breaks into a fever, I might. Here's your bread, Elise. What's on your mind, Lebkuchen? Things that would upset you, Elise. I'm not certain you trust me at all. I trust you enough to not ask you about it. You keep coming back to this, Leb. If there's... I meant it, Elise. You don't have to tell me. Whatever it is you can't tell me, I won't pry. You trust me that much, huh? Even if you truly were the witch. Lebkuchen. I mean it, Elise. I trust that you'll tell me in time, whenever you're ready. You're truly tired. For somebody who's so attentive to others, Lebkuchen, you're not. I'll see you about town tomorrow. For goodness sake, you're so stubborn. That said, I am hungry. Get a nice stockpile of food up. Not spend everything that I made today. Elise. Elise, come quick. What's the matter, Jacob? It's Apfel, he's gone missing. What? Oh, please come quick, Elise. Sanity's getting concerningly low. Overrated. We must go and look for him. That's right, we can't sit about waiting forever.
No,
What's going on here? Apfel's gone missing, Elise. Hopefully the lads will find him on their patrol. They'll have it upon him, I'm certain. They don't know he's missing, Father. By the time that they're back, my poor boy could have... Mama... We all need to remain calm. Calm, Father, my boy is missing. Lord knows if he's alright, let alone if the worst has happened. We all knew those crows were an
out
omen.
with it!
Not this again, you old wretch. Ought to have taken the lad to the witch. What a horrible thing to say, old Johan.
You old geezer!
You truly have no decency, you.
That's enough!
You cannot give in to hysteria, brethren. Oh, to think the lads went out in search of crows. The crows were a threat, lass. Oh, that's it. I'm going looking for him myself.
Anyway,
I'll go. Let me be the one to go, Mrs. Lisbeth. It's best we wait for the lads. I can't allow... Oh, will you really, Elise? Now there's a brave lass. Oh, but Father Hans is right. It's dangerous. Leave it to me, Mrs. Lisbeth. Oh, Elise. I do not condone your disobedience, Elise. Thank you for the hydrate. I do. I need you to go, Elise, for Angelica's sake as well. Truly, the poor lass can't be without a mother. You can lend a hand with whatever you need, Elise. You'd best make certain you have enough food and matches, dear. I'll be here, Elise. Let me know when you're leaving. Yeah, since I volunteered myself for something dangerous, I better get some, I better get something to help my sanity out. I'll get some of that, like, St. Walpurgis oil. Well, there goes the last of my savings, but that is kind of why I was saving, so it worked out. Oh, I'm certain he's alright, dearie. I can only hope you're right, Miss Marielle. We must keep a positive outlook, Miss Lisbeth. I thought you didn't condone my disobedience, father. My duty is to care for my brethren's well-being, Elise. You ought to be aware that it's dangerous. The lass couldn't bear the thought, father. We can't leave Apfel roaming the woods all by himself. Lord knows how sick he was yesterday. If that fever were to strike him again in those woods, I'll make certain I find him, Miss Lisbeth. I appreciate it, Elise, but if you find it's too dangerous... Elise will find him, Lisbeth. We must trust the lass. Here you go, Elise. Please be careful. Thank you, Miss Lisbeth. We'll make certain to send the lads after you when they arrive. Don't wander off too far, you hear? Thank you, Elise. Alright, I'll have to make questionable decisions in the woods once more. Elise is really in that habit. Indeed, is she hungry? Here I am again. I gotta find Apfel fast. I still like how non-Euclidean this is. That crow's trying to tell me something, I suppose.
What is this?
This isn't where I was yesterday, is it? Apfel? Apfel, can you hear me? I have to find him. Goodness knows what could have happened to him by now. Ignorance is bliss. Has nobody ever told you that? Plenty of times, I suppose. To be unable to grasp how fortunate we are until it's too late. Charmingly tragic, isn't it? I don't see what's so charming about it. You'll come face to face with it too. The ruinous grief of your biggest, heaviest regret. What's yours then? The same as yours. We all share the same penitence. Talking to girls like this is never a very pleasant experience, is it? Pearl Rosary. I keep accidentally extinguishing my light. A mosaic slab. What's this thing? A tile? It looks like I need either 2 or 3 more. It's missing pieces, isn't it? Missing pieces, missing pieces. That's what I said, thank you very much. Looks like it's probably a sliding puzzle on top of having missing pieces. Oh goodness, I forgot that those were a thing. My heart rate just spiked. Another one. How many of these are there? I'm guessing 3, and it's a sliding puzzle. Oh no.
What in the Lord's name?
Apfel! Hold tight, I'll get you out of there.
That was tiring.
Let's get you out of there and go home.
Rose and Marine.
The woodland, this grove, it's aching. Roserain, Your flesh, your blood, your love. All that's rightfully mine, my progeny.
Is this?
This thing's not Rosemary. I can give you all that you desire. What? My beloved daughter.
What in the Lord's name?
What are you? This lass, Rosemary. Is she the one your heart desires? What are you? They're coming. We will meet again. A vile stench, a vile stench. Tainting our grove, tainting our
Out
grove.
with it!
It's you. The lad's staying where he is, lassie. The lad's staying.
Hurry it up!
Appel, come now. Elise? Quickly, Appel, we have to leave this place. That creature's brought him right into our beaks, lass. We're not about to waste a hearty meal. A hearty meal, a hearty meal. Ah, my eye. Come, Appel. We'll curse you, we'll curse you. Dare not defy me, leave the lad. We'll devour him, we'll devour him.
All right.
Appel, run. I can't move, Elise.
What in the Lord's name?
He's mimicking my movements. My legs, they're moving on their own. We have to leave this place, Appel. Elise, I'm scared.
Anyway,
Come, Appel, we have to move. I never did solve that mural earlier, and that kind of That kind of, concerns me. Oh, I see. Okay, that one... This game does not control very precisely sometimes. Granted, that might be a problem with my controller. Elise, my eye. Where are we going? Watch your step out, Bill. We'll find a way. Okay, I can desynchronize their movements. child is now missing. Never mind. Elise, I can't see where I'm going.
Wait!
Don't wander around too much, Appel. Try to follow my voice. Elise, where are you?
Alright.
It's alright, Appel. Walk in a straight line. I'll be watching over you. I feel dizzy, Elise. Trust me, Appel. I'm right here.
Together, Elise.
I must make certain I don't lose sight of him. Oh god, these things again. Alright, that's a particularly difficult thing to handle. It's about 9:30. I think I'm gonna call it there for tonight. Thank you so much for showing up. I really appreciate it each and every time. Next stream will be on Friday. The game will be Majora's Mask. Next time I'm playing Little Goody Two Shoes will be next Wednesday. I hope you all have a wonderful night, and I hope to see you again. Good night.